Saudi Arabia is a nation that is best known for its luxury, religious pilgrimage, and even more luxury. But for the last decade, they have been secretly rebranding themselves. Once seen as a closed-off, strictly controlled nation, today it marks itself as a playground for the rich. Superstars like Cristiano Ronaldo, Eminem, and other global icons have all visited and been paid handsomely to do so. But behind the spectacular shows and glittery skyscrapers, a much darker reality exists. To understand the modern slavery in Saudi Arabia, we need to go back a few decades. While the country have had to officially abolish slavery in just 1962, structural systems have evolved that keep many workers trapped. For example, they implemented the kafala system. This is a labour sponsorship system that ties a migrant's worker's legal residency and employment status directly to their employer. Under kafala, leaving a job, changing employers, or even leaving the country requires employer permission. This creates a system where workers have little freedom, making them vulnerable to abuse. Despite international criticism, the kafala system remains central to Saudi Arabia's labour market, especially for low-wage migrant workers. Migrant domestic workers are some of the most vulnerable. Millions come from countries like Philippines, Sri Lanka, India, Ethiopia, and Bangladesh. Imagine arriving in a foreign country with the promise of a job, only to have your passport confiscated, wages withheld, and freedom restricted. Many are forced to work 12 to 18-hour shift days. Physical, emotional, and sexual abuse is tragically common. One report documented a worker confined for nearly a year, surviving only on food provided by her employer, unable to contact her own family. Stories like this are far from isolated. Saudi Arabia's transformation into global sports and entertainment has been nothing short of incredible. However, it has been heavily reliant on migrant labour. Workers build stadiums, luxury hotels, all while living in labour camps. Sanitation is poor and medical care is minimal. Workdays often exceed 12 hours under scorching desert heat. Pay is sometimes withheld for months, trapping workers in economic dependence. For many, leaving a job without employer approval can mean detention, fines, or even deportation. To put this into perspective, during Qatar's 2022 World Cup stadium construction, an estimated 6,500 workers died due to unsafe conditions. Falling scaffolding, collapsing structures, and heat stroke are tragically common. The scariest part is that this is just the beginning of Saudi's rise in global entertainment. Obviously, Qatar and Saudi Arabia are two different countries, but they both implement the kafala system, which allows them to treat workers this way. So how do they actually manage these workers to work for them? Well, the main being Saudi is a better option than to somewhere which has been destroyed by bombs. But they are also sold a dream by recruitment agencies who charge illegal fees to reside in the country, and once they arrive, they often find themselves trapped in debt and forced to pay off loans they can never afford. This is human trafficking in its most modern form. Workers have little choice but to comply, enduring abuse, long hours, and economic coercion. Despite reforms, millions remain excluded from legal protections, creating a system where modern slavery persists, hidden from the public eye. People have always been aware for the shady business that's happening in the Middle East, but maybe not to its fullest extent. However, international organizations seem to do nothing about it. In 2023, the US Department of State declared it did not reach the standard of human trafficking. In 2021, Saudi Arabia announced reforms, allowing some workers to change jobs or leave without employer consent. Yet domestic workers, the most vulnerable group, remain excluded. For many, freedom is still a distant promise. So why does the world celebrate Saudi Arabia now? The answer is simple: money and marketing. Paying global icons like Cristiano Ronaldo to play in the Saudi Pro League is not just a sports story, it's a global PR campaign. Luxury resorts, F1 races, and huge boxing matches craft an image that this is the destination for global entertainment of the highest standard. The media often focuses on these spectacles, while the exploitation powering this wealth remains invisible. Saudi Arabia today is a paradox, a nation celebrated for its sports, entertainment, and global glamour. Yet modern slavery persists quietly in the background. Superstars, stadiums, and PR campaigns may dazzle the world. The lives of migrant workers tell a very different story. This is a reminder that wealth, fame, and image cannot erase human rights. What looks like progress for some, for many, is a life of exploitation and suffering.